Ladies and gentlemen, Zepto is one of India's fastest growing grocery startups today. Started by two 19-year-old STANFORD dropouts, Zepto has scaled to a valuation of $950 million in less than 1 year. Also, the revolution of quick delivery in India, which is now being followed by a lot of big companies such as bigbasket, Dunzo, Zomato, Swiggy, etc., was initially started by Zepto. With an extraordinary vision of these two 19-year-old college dropouts, Zepto has created something which even Amazon did not envision. In just 6 months of launch, Zepto received buyout offers from both Zomato and Swiggy, yet the company founders decided not to sell the company because they had some major plans going ahead. So the question is, how did these two 19-year-old college dropouts create a $950 million worth of company in less than 1 year? What is the vision and the future of Zepto boys? And as parents of the startup ecosystem, what lessons can we learn from Zepto's success story for our own business? This business case study is brought to you by Startup School. My name is Shaurya Kaushik and let's get started. In 2020, when the entire country was under lockdown due to COVID, Aadit Palicha and Kaivalya Vohra, two 19-year-old guys from Mumbai who were studying in Stanford, were stuck in an apartment in Mumbai and ordered certain groceries from a grocery delivery app because all the local offline stores were shut. At that time, the average time taken for a grocery delivery app to deliver the orders was 2 to 3 days. However, due to COVID, as the demand was high, the delivery time was 5 days to 7 days. Also, at that time, the only way these grocery apps attracted customers was by giving heavy discounts and burning lots and lots of cash. This created an uneasiness in the minds of Aadit and Kaivalya as they had encountered a major problem and a potential business opportunity. As there were no better alternatives for faster delivery and the entire grocery delivery space in India was dominated by only two players, that is bigbasket and Grofers, they planned on creating a grocery delivery startup themselves to serve their own needs as well as the needs of millions of customers who wanted faster delivery of groceries. Instead of focusing on giving more and more discounts to attract more and more customers, Aadit and Kaivalya planned on delivering the groceries on the same day itself, and that was how Kiranakart was launched, a startup which promised same-day delivery of groceries and other essentials. When Aadit and Kaivalya started receiving orders for groceries and dispatched them for delivery on the same day, some orders were delivered faster than the others because the location of the customers was much closer to the store. This process continued for some time, and after a couple of months, Aadit and Kaivalya were able to bring down the delivery time under 1 hour with a couple of $1 million in revenue and a clear product market fit. Now here comes the turning point. When Aadit and Kaivalya started checking out the data regarding orders, retention, repetition, customer behavior, etc., they noticed something about consumer behavior so unique and so new that it made them drop out of Stanford to go all in on their startup. They noticed that while the average delivery time of Kiranakart was 45 minutes, some customers got their orders in 15 to 20 minutes as their locations were much closer to the stores. And guess what? Aadit and Kaivalya realized that those customers who were getting their orders in 15 to 20 minutes had a major repetition. Those customers used to place orders multiple times in a week, not because they were getting discounts or lower prices, but because they were getting their groceries delivered in 15 to 20 minutes, which no other grocery delivery app was able to pull off. Aadit and Kaivalya clearly knew that this data was a major breakthrough and could lead to a potential revolution in the grocery delivery space, and this led to the rebirth of Kiranakart as Zepto, which for the first time in India promised a 10-minute delivery of groceries. But there were two major problems yet to be solved. Problem number 1, supply chain. In order to deliver groceries in 10 minutes, the Zepto boys had two alternatives. The first alternative was to tie up with existing grocery stores in every location so that when an order is received by Zepto, the delivery person can simply go to the nearest store, pick up the order and deliver it to the customer. The second alternative was to open up their own store in every location, which will require a lot of capital, time and other resources. When the Zepto boys tested the first model of tying up with local grocery stores, they found out that because the stocking of goods by these grocery stores was so inefficient and the packaging was so slow, orders were not able to reach to the customers in under 10 minutes, and as such, their core value proposition was getting affected to a great extent. So the only option they had was to go with the second alternative, which meant Zepto boys would now have to open their own store in every location, which was a tough task to pull off as it was a heavy asset model and required a lot of investment. While figuring out a way to pull off the second alternative of opening their own stores, Aadit and Kaivalya came across this concept called dark stores. Dark store is a kind of superstore which is not visible or accessible to the public and is used to process the online orders of a specific area. As the store is not accessible to the public, a number of costs and associated resources required to run a typical retail store like Dmart get cut off. Also, as the dark stores only cater to the online orders, they are highly efficient in operations. It means that on an average, when an online order is received by a dark store, it generally takes only 1 to 2 minutes for the staff at the dark store to process the order, pack it and dispatch it for delivery. The idea of opening multiple dark stores appealed to Aadit and Kaivalya as the cash burn per outlet was low and goods could easily be delivered in under 10 minutes. The Zepto boys finally decided to go ahead with this alternative, but there was another problem on their way. Although the cash burn per dark store was low, a single dark store still required huge capital investment, and for a 2 to 3 month old startup like Zepto, it simply meant raising millions and millions of dollars through venture capitalists and investors. When Aadit and Kaivalya pitched to the investors about the revolutionary 10-minute delivery idea, they faced incredible rejections and criticism due to two major reasons.
When we started this 12 months ago, every conversation we had was, you're totally out of your mind, this is never going to work.
Number one, although the delivery space market had a huge market size, VCs were not willing to pour capital in this market as it was kind of saturated and dominated by large players like bigbasket, Dunzo, Grofers, Swiggy and Zomato. Number two, a 10-minute grocery delivery proposition did not appeal to the investors as they thought that it was something which could not at all be pulled off, especially by two teenagers who had no experience of retail or groceries. However, due to an incredible perseverance of the Zepto boys, combined with an increasing customer base, revenue, growth and other metrics, Aadit and Kaivalya were finally able to secure a major Series A round of $60 million, which acted as a breakthrough for their journey. Today, Zepto has grown so much that it is adding over 1 lakh users every single day. In fact, the growth rate of Zepto in the last 1 year has surpassed the growth rates of all the other companies in the same segment, including the big giants like bigbasket and Grofers. So, to conclude, the 3 major lessons from Zepto's success story that we can learn and implement in our own startups are: number 1, it is not always necessary to innovate. In order to be a successful entrepreneur, it is not always necessary to create a new category, a new industry, or a new product. Entrepreneurship is all about finding solutions even to the smallest of the problems and building a business out of it. Zepto boys did not create a new category or a new product. They simply identified a small loophole in the grocery delivery space and built a $1 billion startup out of that. Number 2, be data driven. Many startups and entrepreneurs rely more on intuition than data. They have a tendency of making decisions based on what they feel is right, even if the data speaks against them. If you look at all the successful startups and companies around the world, including Amazon, Walmart, and even Apple, you will notice that these companies are extremely data-driven. Each and every decision in the company is based out of data and not on blunt words, advices, and judgments. Number 3, do not worry about the competition. When Zepto entered the grocery delivery space in India, bigbasket and Grofers had already reached billions of dollars in valuations with millions of dollars in revenue. But because the value proposition of Zepto was so unique and the execution of Zepto boys was so on point, the growth rate of startup surpassed the existing giants in the market. If your product or service has a major value to deliver, competition will not necessarily matter. Zepto's success story has already inspired millions of to-be entrepreneurs to start their own venture. With the same goal of imparting knowledge and skills to the next generation entrepreneurs, we at Startup School will see you in another business case study. Make sure to subscribe to Startup School to get regular updates of our upcoming videos. Also, if you found the business case study of Zepto useful, then make sure to like, comment and share the video with your friends and mates. My name is Shaurya Kaushik and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.